Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. Sound is much clearer. From somebody? Okay. So, before I begin and get into this, I want to talk about a few things. Clarification. When it's put in a live reaction show, that means it's my reaction or our at BWTM Sports reaction to an event and thoughts to something's been said or done or something's been announced. That's what live reaction is. Just for clarification. Doesn't make it a fact. Just makes it an opinion, a thought, a live reaction. Now, if we have a guest on, it's their opinion, truth, fine. But when somebody says, can you make that a fact? If it's a fact, then I will confirm it's a fact and I'll back that up with some form of evidence. But if it's live reaction, that's my thoughts, my opinions, our thoughts, our opinions. It's just our opinion. So we get a few people that leave comments in the comment section who think they're very clever, but don't read what a don't understand what live reaction. Live meaning and reaction meaning like just thoughts, reacting to the news. So that's exactly what live reaction is. Different again, so different formats for those who do not understand that. Do that for clarification purposes. And sound problems, I've still got sound issues. Huh? Now, next piece of announcement is that we're back in the UK. Back in the UK. 3 years in Ireland's enough. But it was okay, served its purpose. But I'm glad we're back in UK. Back to feel much more comfortable. Back to land of opportunity. Back to can't beat home. And I'll leave it at that for now. At some point, I will go deeper into it. But I'm glad to be home. I really am. So, welcome back to the UK. BWTM Sports. Where do we start first? I think we start with Tyson Fury. I didn't tell you all. I can't say I didn't warn you all. I can't say I didn't say this over and over and over again. Don't be surprised if Tyson Fury comes out with a statement saying, yeah, I'll fight you in the summer, when, you know, he's now said it. He's now tweeted it. And the more I hear from Tyson Fury about his comeback, I'd like to see him really buckling down, less of the social media talking and training, and really focusing on his comeback. In principle, he's the king of the hill, but unfortunately, and time waits for no man, And I don't know when he's going to be back in the ring and what sort of opposition he's going to have and whether he'll ever be the same guy that fought Klitschko. And whether that guy that beat Klitschko back that night will ever turn up again. I don't know. And the more I watch things I'm seeing across social media with Tyson, the more I'm concerned about him and this comeback. I'd just like to see him buckle down and get down to business, to be honest. I have concerns that, you know, obviously he left Peter. Well, I don't know what the situation with him and Peter is. So I just know that Peter was there for him, and I felt that Peter is, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, and it's not for me to talk about. But the proof in the pudding's in the eating, isn't it? So my personal opinion, yeah, it's sad to see the moment is not with him, but who knows what the future may hold. It's just sad. Okay, so we are where we are. That Peter said they've gone their separate ways. He wishes them all the best. I did stress this out of the year. If you remember, Mikey, I did say that Tyson Fury would go with another trainer. And when I said it, people said to me, you're talking rubbish, Ingram. And you know what? I would not even be. I wouldn't even be surprised if if Joshua gets past Parker in the March. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tyson Fury in the summer fighting Joshua now, just as a money grab. I'm sorry. I hope this is not an ill-fated comeback. And there's no guarantee that what he did against Klitschko, he'll ever be able to pull off again. And there's no guarantee on the night that when he fights Joshua, those things will work against Joshua, a young, fresh, hungry, mentally not scarred like Klitschko. It's okay to do it against Klitschko, but there's consistency we need with that. And I don't feel very confident in Tyson's chances on this journey to wherever it is. I don't know where it is to go, but I don't feel greatly confident in it. I just don't think he's going to be the same fighter again, and I don't think he's going to be a better fighter. I really don't. But hey, you know, that's what boxing's all about. People come around and they turn and they change, and boxing is this way of surprising us all. But it doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. And you have every right as Fury fans to be concerned, because what I'm seeing, it's not. I remember when Muhammad Ali, he was incarcerated and he came back. Best guys possible out there to become heavyweight champion of the world again. Andre Ward, out the ring for X amount of time, comes back up to world contention. Was it third, fourth fight? He fought the baddest man, which is Sergey Kovalev. Then like Sullivan Barrera, a fight or two before that when Barrera was unbeaten. I don't like what I'm hearing. You know, I'll take fights, easy fights sort of thing. I don't like what I'm hearing, but we'll have to wait and see. Fury spoke about wanting to make easy money all the time. Oh, to God, he's not with Ben simply to get in shape and cash out for a big one, and then go into as not as prepared as he should be. Well, I can see it happening. I can see it happening. But I've called it down the line for all of this so far. All the way so far. I even called it to the point what I said that Tyson would say, you know, let's have it for the summer. The only thing that hasn't happened yet, I turned around to Tyson and said to Tyson, you know what, you're a fighty man. If you're a fighty man, I'll see you in the summer. Remember, Ingram, remember I told you a month ago Ben would fight for his lovely cut as a trainer. Could easily be the summer cash grab. I know, I can see it happening. We can see it happening more and more. But again, people are less laughing at me now because they're seeing this thing reoccurring, happening over and over and over again. And the best person Tyson could have had beside him is his family, and that's Peter Fury. So anyway, I look forward to talking to Peter very soon again. And now we're back in the UK. There's nothing stopping us doing videos. So looking forward to doing that. Moving on. I think this is the evening of Shake My Head. Next up, Mr. Amir King Khan. Signing with Matchroom. You can't see my face, but I'm shaking my head and like, what is going on here? What is going on here? You know, I haven't listened to the press conference. Listened to press conference because, as Eddie Hearn once told me, he's a second-hand car salesman. Well, that's how he sees himself, traveling up and down the country as a second-hand car salesman. I said to Eddie, I thought it was a bit harsh, car salesman, but it is what it is. Now, Amir Khan. Now, just picture this for a second. The last time we saw Amir Khan, forget the jungle. The last time we saw Amir Khan, it looked as if Canelo had killed him with that right hand that knocked him out. That's the last time we saw Amir Khan on his back, looking up at the lights somewhere in America. That's the last time we saw Amir Khan. For those of you in the jungle, well, good luck to you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I didn't watch any of it. I know Amir Khan's a boxer, and that is what I want to remember him for. And I remember the last time I saw him flat out on his back, looking at lights out, laid out cold with one shot. Unfortunately, this is another young man that I feel had been badly advised. Should never have gone up to middleweight and fought Canelo. Could have had rematches. He could have been in that welterweight mix, getting rematches with Danny Garcia, Herman, you know, rematch with Lamont Peterson, revenging them losses. That's what he could have done. Nope, he went up against Canelo, daring to be great, and got smashed. Literally, almost lost his life. Now, I don't know. The only thing, to me, the only reason why, as if I were Eddie Hearn, I'd be signing Amir Khan, one reason and one reason only. Brock and pay-per-view. That's it. So that Eddie makes his numbers on pay-per-view. Outside of Joshua, a guaranteed pay-per-view fight is Khan versus Brock. Happen. Khan must be on desperate times. And I'm not being disrespectful to Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn's doing. But for Khan to sign with Eddie Hearn or Matchroom, things must be real desperate for Khan. Because at one point, wasn't Eddie Hearn like Satan? So now you've actually signed with Satan himself. After you saying for years you wouldn't do business with him like that. And now you have. You won't go to Frank Warren. You won't go to what's his name? What's the guy's name? Steve Goodwin. David Hayes, probably a no-go. None of sense that, you know, TV coverage and stuff. So you go for the biggest platform possible. And that is Sky Sports. And of course, Kell Brooks on Sky Sports as well. So it's obvious it's a pay-per-view event. So the 3-fight promotional deal, I don't know what bullshit has been spun out there, and boxing fans have been told to accept. But the main reason of this is for Brook v. Khan. Let's be honest. How are we doing, Shay? The reason is for Brook v. Khan. Let's not, kind of cloud our judgment to thinking, oh, Eddie's doing Khan a favor. No, he wants that pay-per-view. That's clear. He wants that pay-per-view, and then he'll hit his numbers for 2018. Signing with Hearn or Eddie or Matchroom, I can see that being. I can see how that works out. But let's get something quite straight here. Let's look at Eddie's track record so far in promoting fighters that he's acquired. He acquired Luis Ortiz, the best promoter in the world, according to some. Got him to fight Dave Allen and Malik Scott. Built his that really bought his profile, didn't it? We got Danny Jacobs against Luis Arias. Okay, it was a great fight, wasn't it? And then now we're trying to get Danny Jacobs to fight Spike O'Sullivan. Really? And we've got check this one. Big Baby Miller possibly fighting Kubrat Pulev. Well, that gets Kubrat Pulev's mandatory for Joshua out of the way by getting him to fight Big Baby Miller. I like it. Nice stuff. Good, clever. Against our friend Lucas Brown. Check this one out. Whyte is #1 contender by the WBC. Why the hell do you need to go and fight Lucas Brown, who has every potential in the world to knock you out? I mean, Lucas Brown hasn't fought for a while. For a while. I mean, he fought the other day, but what I mean competitively, a real fight for a while. And he's not a spring chicken, Lucas Brown. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep on saying it. The one thing Lucas Brown does is punch extremely hard. One thing he does is punch extremely hard. And I don't think, from what I've seen of Dillian Whyte, more of a boxer. His punching power, either that injury to his shoulder is not allowing him to punch as hard as he used to, but there is something missing with Dillian Whyte. He's workmanlike. But there's been no fight where he's looked, wow, devastating. And Lucas Brown is the one heavyweight in there, apart from Joshua, who's got off the deck to win a fight. Lucas Brown is dangerous. People say Lucas Brown's like 38. So George Foreman was like 48, wasn't he? Or 46 when he beat Michael Mora. Listen, you got to remember, when you talk about heavyweights, 38 to a welterweight, I get you. If you say 38 to someone like Roy Jones, who's dependent on speed, I get it. But 38 to a guy who doesn't have the fastest feet in the world and isn't based on reflexes, 38 is not a death sentence for a heavyweight. It's not a death sentence. If anything, at 38, you're experienced. You experienced a bit of in life. You know how your body ticks. You know what it takes to get yourself into shape. You know how to fight in big fights. And remember, Lucas Brown has been a world champion, something that Dillian Whyte still doesn't know what it is about. He's gone to another man's backyard and beat him and become world champion. So don't dismiss Lucas Brown. And you've got to also ask yourself this question. Check this out, people. Zorro was fighting, and with all due respect, I passed his best. I don't know where Chisora's best was. Was Chisora's best when he fought Klitschko? Was his best when he fought Kevin Johnson? Was his best when he was fighting David Haye? I thought Chisora's best little run was when he won the captured European title. That was probably when I think Chisora's best run, and he was fighting back to back to back fights, and that was good. He was fighting regularly. He was fighting good opposition. Not the best in the world, but he was fighting good opposition. That's when I thought Chisora was at his best. But now Chisora, he made a statement a couple of years back on IFL, and he went, I'm in it for the money. And I couldn't remember who he fought. And he went, I'm in it for the money, I'll just take the big fights. And that was that. I thought, you know what? Win or lose, Chisora doesn't give a damn. And we've kind of seen that in his performances since. So Dillian Whyte, dangerous fight. And the fight, he didn't need to take. He didn't need to take fight. He could have stayed. Dillian Whyte could have stayed busy fight. Chisora nearly had Whyte gone a few times in that fight. I agree. Brown is relatively fresh too. Not had a hard career. I agree. Vinny Love says Brown will knock out Whyte. Probably a good point there. It probably will happen. Chisora's overhand right missed in every single fight until he fought Whyte. That's how ordinary Whyte is. Dillian Whyte. And his defense, I mean, Helenius was catching Whyte from the first round with the right hand, and you don't want to be getting hit with right hands by Lucas Brown. Sky Sports that has been charged with possession of marijuana. Does it stop Wilder being able to come to the UK and fight Joshua, given he will now have a criminal offence? Well, Mike Tyson came to the UK, didn't he? And he fought Julius Francis. What's stopping Joshua going to America and fighting Wilder, or has Joshua got a criminal record? Whyte has been rocked hard by a shot by Chisora and Helenius, both past their best. Brown is bigger, fresher, and more relentless. I've got to say that. Helenius should have beat Whyte. He was there for the taking at one point. Helenius was useless. Wilder smoking that purple kush. Well, somebody in his car. I don't know. But in terms of Whyte, Brown, it's interesting because according to Matt Clark, the manager of Lucas Brown, we did the interview. We did an interview, and the next day, Dillian Whyte was on to the case with Lucas Brown. So glad to hear it's happened. Brown hits much harder than Chisora and Helenius. That's my point. That's why a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Whyte's going to win the fight." Well, if Whyte wins the fight, he's going to have to box, and not get tagged, which is very difficult for him to do. Again, I will say it. I've said it before, and I'll keep on saying it. Dillian Whyte needs to leave Eddie Hearn, needs to join Frank Warren. I'll keep on saying it. I'll keep on saying it. I'll keep on saying it. Now people are going to listen to me about that. So Whyte versus Brown. We're going to see if we can get to talk to Lucas Brown and his management, see what they've got to say for themselves. What else I've got to say? What else I've got to say? Is there anything else I haven't talked about? Talked about Khan and his Matchroom thing. And by the way, for the record, going back to Amir Khan, here's another one. When was Khan's peak? Can somebody tell me when Amir Khan's peak was? If you're buying Amir Khan, and don't forget, if you're buying, say Amir Khan was a car, would you say he's got like miles on the clock? Ingram, the alarm bells will be ringing if Brown knocks him out, take the silver belt, and become #1 to Wilder. Well, yeah, that's that. If that happens, then that makes Eddie Hearn's life a lot easier, doesn't it? And it justifies Chisora's point. Yeah, so I don't know why Dillian Whyte is fighting Lucas Brown. I have no idea why that fight is happening. None whatsoever. Now, I do want to talk about one fighter I do want to talk about. A guy that I like a lot. I've got a lot of respect for this man, and it's Badu Jack. And I want to take a special moment to talk about Badu Jack because here's a guy now that was on his way up and got blitzed in a round, knocked out in a round, comes back, becomes world champion, defends his belt against some of the top fighters, beats George Groves, almost knocks out James DeGale, moves up, beats up Nathan Cleverly, and for my money, is going to become the new WBC light heavyweight champion of the world, Badu Jack. I think he's a top quality fighter. If he can neutralize the left hand of Adonis Stevenson and he can walk Stevenson back to the ropes, that he can become world champion. Frampton versus Donaire. Okay. Now, I talked about this in my end of year review. And one of the things I did not want to see in 2018 is guys being dug up from the grave or recycle fighters being brought into pay-per-view fights. Versus Frampton, as far as I'm concerned, Donaire is past his sell-by date. If he was fighting the Donaire that fought Rigondeaux, then yeah, that's when Donaire was the bad man and he was running things. Yeah, talks about Donaire now. And if Frampton gets beat by Donaire now, Frampton needs to take a serious look in the mirror at himself. A man like Donaire at this age, Frampton needs to be knocking Donaire out and nothing. You should be knocking Donaire out and moving on. It shouldn't even be a discussion. Saying it was Wilder, 60 days community service. Everyone knows AJ won't go to America. Agree. But where does he go? Or Warren got Fury and Dubois, so Hearn is the only option. Not really. You got to think about look at where their careers are. I know you've got a good point there, but if he was to go to Warren, or maybe even he went to the Sauerlands, go with the Sauerlands. They have Chisora, don't they? Now, Frampton looked bad in his last fight, gassed out. Well, according to Rick Glazer, who was on our channel last year, very experienced matchmaker, he said he was past it. He thought Frampton was finished. I'm thinking, really, Rick? Are you sure it's the same Carl Frampton? He didn't look great. So I don't know. I don't know. But you see, one of the things you need to also be aware of, boxing fans, that when a guy like Frampton constantly has to cut weight all the time, that can age you as well. I don't know. Don't know. Shoaib says he won't be able to take Stevenson bomb. Now, Stevenson is, I love Adonis Stevenson, right? But let's be honest, Adonis Stevenson is a one-handed fighter. If there was ever a one-handed fighter in the world, he's got a tremendous left hand. But I just feel Badu Jack has got the tools to neutralize that left hand. If you take that left hand away, which is a tremendous punch that Adonis Stevenson has, Adonis Stevenson's got no right hand. He's got no right hand. If you move towards the right hand, it might be interesting. Away from the left, move towards the right hand and back into the reverse. And Adonis Stevenson's chin is not the greatest. So if Badu Jack is able to plant some, I think the strategy for this fight against Adonis Stevenson, he's got to keep Adonis back against the ropes. And the other thing is, he's got to be popping up jabs, lots of feints, get Stevenson to keep with that right hand, and then throw the left hand and throw the right hand straight down the pipe. Straight right hands and left hooks are going to be the key here. The straight right hand and the left hook is going to be the key against Adonis Stevenson. He's got to back up Stevenson to the ropes, keep him against the ropes, and then do what he's got to do. Truth and some facts about boxing. Why did Jack drop his belt and not fight Bivol? I don't know. You go ask him. See what he says. Ask him. But I think it's great that he's gone and fought. He's dropped his belt and he's now going to go and fight Donnie Stevenson. I think it's great. Bivol is a good fighter, but Adonis is the more accomplished fighter. I say accomplished, experienced fighter in Cleverly. Now he's going to go and fight another guy in Stevenson. And also, now check this out. There was talk before Andre Ward retired that Ward was going to fight Badou Jack, and that kind of all hushed up. Can you imagine if Badou Jack was able to beat Adonis Stevenson? See Andre Ward come out of retirement and face Badou Jack. It was a fight that was talked about. I'm not sure Frampton and Moore is a good relationship too. I don't know how much Frampton's got left. And I say that myself now. Moore has zero credentials as a trainer, never mind at world level. He's been poor with Coyle when I've seen him in the corner. Mike says beating Adonis is the same way you beat GGG. Push him back, as you say, give him no room to work and let that left hand up. Of course, you've just got to walk him, but it's got to be educated. You can't just walk in straight lines to Adonis Stevenson. You've got to use, I believe you've got to use a jab. And you've got to be I think you've got to be very jittery with Jack. What I mean by jittery, you've got to do lots of feints. See like how Hay used to fight and Groves used to fight, where very jittery, very, very, very jittery. Jittery. That's what you've got to do with something, Adonis. But you make him faint, and make him want to throw, make him uneasy, faint, and shoot the right hand straight. As soon as you see the opportunity, shoot the right hand at him, bring it back with the left hook. Those are the combinations you've got to do, and you've got to hit Adonis and hurt him early. First round, Jack's got to take the center of the ring, and hit Adonis and hurt him early, and make him know that if you throw that left hand, there's a consequence if it doesn't land. That's what the sort of thing you've got to put into Adonis's mind from round one. You've got to make Adonis Stevenson feel uncomfortable throwing the left hand. Before his left hand lands, make sure your right hand's hitting him on the chin. Have a block for the left and come straight back with your right hand. You know, catch and shoot, as they say. Catch a straight left and come back with your own right hand. Yeah, but he could have been fighting chickens in a unification match if he would have taken the fight. That sounds great. Sounds fabulous. I don't know why it's not happened. Why don't you ask him? Jack has the tools to beat Adonis, plain and simple. I agree. Jack works the body well. He should invest the body shots early, and Adonis will fade. You push him back and then go upstairs. Adonis will be wobbling on the ropes like Kovalev Ward. Yeah. You know, I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. And Adonis, wherever you are, I'm sorry, but I hope Badou Jack actually beats you. I really do, because I was a man for years saying Adonis is the man to beat the man to beat the man, but that is all well and good if you continue being the man, but Adonis has done everything to wipe himself out of. Adonis should be king of that division, and he should be ruling the roost, and there should not be anyone saying anything about him. But no, he's not. He's unpromoted himself and doing his own damn thing. So you can do his own damn thing, but without the WBC belt, without any world title. Do your own thing in the corner, and just go off into the sunset. Do something else, but just go away. You know, because it's very frustrating. See, boxing's a funny thing, you know. We're only seeing one side of things. We don't know. Send me a link. I'm going to hand you an L. You obviously didn't get the memo about 2018. You seem to be obsessed about giving people L's. I don't. Yes, my man DJ Slicks in the room. Spence fight coming up soon, and he says Kell Brook will win a belt at 154. I'll be talking to Derek James's Derek James, Errol Spencer's trainer of the year. We're having an extensive interview with him, which I'm sure you'll all enjoy. And we can do a Q&A session with him. Mikey says, Adonis can knock anyone out with a single shot. Smart boxers with smart game plans will hand him a loss. Power is not the be-all and end-all. Yeah, but with Adonis, he is an incredible puncher. You can't knock that. I think his opponent didn't turn up. I think he backed out. Farrell Matchroom's new ring card girl. AJ waiting backstage. Amir hiding through the curtains. Yeah, Donny looked a shell of himself when he got beat by Nicholas Waters. That's what I'm saying. Chisora is with her, not Sowlands. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. Dillian Whyte should try and get in there now. Donaire's finished, man. I don't even know what people are making a big fuss of his fight for. He's a name. That's it. He's just a name. That's exactly. Somebody made the point earlier. It's name value. That's all it is. Send truth and some facts. The boxing link. Okay. Let's. Yep. Let's do that. Send the link via your Twitter page. Yeah, I say some facts because the names get butchered. That's why. Really obsessed about wanting to give me an L. I didn't know we were in any sort of competition, but give me an L, then if it makes him feel better, then he can give me an L. But be careful. Let's see if we can find you on Twitter. Facts about boxing. Where is he? Truth and some facts about boxing. Let's see. Truth and some facts about boxing. Where are you? There you are. And there we go. Got the towels ready. I want a fair fight. Listen, I'm not UG, so I'm not UG. I love Fury, but I'm sick and tired of tweeting. It's just garbage. He says AJ ducked him. Now how can that you duck a guy who doesn't have a license? Get in shape and I'll take you seriously. One love, Tyson. Yeah, I told you about this phone conversation there between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua a long time ago. People are only reporting about it now. I'm just having fun. But do you think Jack has the ability to nullify the left hand? Also, I agree. Donaire at this point is just a name. Accept the link, Bo. Go and find you out. Cover that hairline. I want Mr. Mason back on this channel. He's great. He is great. But like I said, guys, now that we're back in the UK, we can have fun. We can have fun. It's good to be back in the UK, by the way. And we start Monday, early Monday morning. We've got a truckload of fighters to introduce you to. A truckload of fighters. And we've got the BWTM mobile up and running now. So I'll be able to travel up and down the country doing just those BWTM things in the UK. So I'm so much looking forward to it. So I'm just waiting for Mr. Boxing to join the room. Bo, again, I sent the link to you via Twitter. So Fury, we've talked about Khan, we've talked about Whyte versus Brown. We've talked about Donaire, Frampton. What else should we talk about? Who else is missing? Who else is have I not spoken about? Versus Lamont Peterson. That's gonna be a good fight. Lamont Peterson comes out. Khan versus Broner. A lot of people talk about this fight like it's some sort of exciting fight. I tell you what, you've got one guy who at one point was on fire, but I don't know what goes in through Broner's mind now. I think he just accepts it for what it is. I don't think he's motivated anymore. You talked about Tom Little about to get a hiding. How much is Farrell going for on StubHub then? This is not good stuff. I'm definitely tired of Fury's tweeting. Just last month, he said he was not rushing into AJ fight. Now he wants him next month. Next guy, let's stop talking. Take him seriously. I did say this. What did I say in my tweet? I've told you guys from day dot about Tyson. If Tyson says something today, he'll say something else tomorrow. So Tyson's the kind of man that'll ring you up and say, listen, I'll give you a sort of example. Let me give you an example. I'm the manager of Tyson Fury. I expect to get a call from Tyson. Tyson will say, listen, get me that fight. Get me that fight. He'll say, get me a nice house, company car, and I'll take the fight with Joshua. But get me $100,000 in my bank account by tomorrow morning. And you'll get the Joshua. I'll fight Joshua. And you know, he won't do it. That's the kind of situation. It's a lot of some noise. Hello? No, they're not here yet. Hearn wanted Brook versus Eggington. Remember that? Oh my God, yeah, I know. Sunderland really got robbed versus Little. I had him 3-1 up. Okay, Brook Eggington will happen soon. My bet at catch rate 150. Where's Bo? Did you get the link? Byfield's another one I've got to go and visit. I know you like Asgar, but the guy really thinks Tyson can do no wrong. Tyson could shag his missus in front of his very eyes. Well, everyone's entitled to an opinion, Asgar included. Listen, you cannot knock. And that's something that's rare in boxing. Loyalty. There are a lot of people that are not loyal in the sport. So one thing, this guy Asgar has been consistent from day one. Can't knock him for that, man. The same thing you're mocking is the same thing that's lacking in boxing, which is consistency. He's consistently backed Tyson. And remember, Asgar may have a better relationship with Tyson than a lot of you do. So, hey, if Tyson's like your mate, he's your good friend, then he's dedicated. It's like dedicated to me on this channel. And then I would say, you support Ingram and you're this and you're that and the other. It happens. He didn't get fired. Well, Asgar's working with Peter Fury. Start camping January 15th. Mikey says, yeah, good man. Stop kissing ass, Slicks. So it's cold. Training them in the cold. I think Bo's bailed out. Is he there? Oh, you're there. Bo, you there? Bo is in the room, but there's no sound. Bo, where's your sound, mate? The sound's not there.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Pardon?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Then.
Truth and some facts about boxing.
What's going on, Mr. Ingram Jones? How you doing, man?
You're still. It sounds like you're whispering. Hold on.
No, it's probably not you. It's probably
Now
me.
try. Got you now.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
No, I'm about to say it's probably not you. It's, hey, good evening, man. What's going on?
Yeah, live and exclusive from the UK.
Yeah, I know. I heard you say you were back in the UK. I actually, well, we'll talk about it off air.
Okay, so you've got some things to talk about.
Yeah. What did you think about the whole that the situation with Aleta Alvarez and Gavazic? Apparently, they're going to pull out their purse bid.
Well, first of all, how many step asides did Alvarez get?
Well, if you listen to Yvonne Michelle, he claims Alvarez only stepped aside once, but we know that's not true.
Exactly.
You know,
so you know, question you've got to ask yourself: if a man keeps stepping aside over and over and over again, it's sport. Question his intention, whether he wants to become world champion, and question if he actually believes he can be world champion.
mm-hmm. Well,
You
also,
look at someone like Stavern. You look at someone like Stavern. He didn't take any. He took step aside once, and as soon as the opportunity came to fight for the title, he took it. Knocked out the way he did. He still went to try and beat Wilder. As far as I'm concerned, he's taken step aside, step aside, step aside, step aside. You might as well nickname him Step Aside Alvarez. That's.
Did you just say you named him Step Aside Alvarez?
Step Aside Alvarez. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Well,
what more can I say? I mean, how many times did the guy step aside? He stepped aside.
He stepped aside enough for somebody not to think they're gonna sell me on some bullshit. Hearing he only did it once, I'll put it like that.
There you go. There you go. So,
tell me he did it no one time.
So he did more than one time. So for me, that's glad to see that Adonis is fighting. Badly Jack beats him.
Oh, you know, I would just listen. I actually a while back on my channel, I had said that I would actually prefer him fight Bandu Jack instead of Leda Alvarez because I felt that was a better fight, especially if Adonis wants to reclaim some of the glory. Because right now, listen, the light heavyweight division is wide open with Andre Ward retiring. It's wide open, and you got new blood in the division. You got Brown, you got Gavazic, you got Bivol, you got Ferreira, you got You know, just you got a lot of you got to. It's like a youth movement. So if you want to regain some of the quote unquote mystique or what you used to have back when you was always advocating for them, talking about something to be the man, you got to beat the man. You remember them days, right, Ingram?
I did say that, but I said if you want, yeah, but I also said tonight, I said if you got to still remain the man, not remain the man, and you can defend the man up to a point, but this Badu Jack fight, I want to know if that was a fight that he chose himself.
You know, I'll be honest with you. It's hard for me to say because and I'm not gonna try to speak ill here. It's hard for me to say only because of the fact that I could see him wanting the Bandu Jack fight from a money aspect. It's still a good fight from a money aspect. But I don't know. It's I actually feel like this fight was made more because of Bandu Jack and Floyd Mayweather than it probably was Adonis Stevens.
Well, I think the Badu Jack, I thought Badu Jack was going to fight Andre Ward. Do you remember that fight that we were talking about? The first fight that Badu Jack had, against Andre Ward. I would not be surprised if Ward came back and fought him should he beat Adonis Stevenson.
Yeah, I remember they was talking that him maybe getting a chance at Andre Ward. I remember that. I also remember Bivol. But Bivol and his people said, well, he wasn't ready for an Andre Ward fight just yet. But I definitely remember Jack name coming up. I don't know. We could just I don't know if Ward's going to come back. I don't know if he was watching Twitter or anything. He just announced his wife just announced she's pregnant again for the 5th time. So, yeah, she's pregnant for the 5th time. So I don't know. He might not want to. Yeah. They made that announcement on I think it was Instagram. I saw it on Instagram.
Okay.
So, but I like this fight. It's a, we talk, we get on Stevenson and we talk crap about him, but you still got to watch out for that left hand. Okay. My only question is
I know, but I think that left hand is only. See, Stevenson's a guy that has question marks about his own chin, and he fights like a guy who questions his own chin. When a guy questions his own chin, he's one of them guys that I think you could knock out in the first 3 or 4 rounds. He fights. If you catch him right, well, you can say that about any fighter. My point is, he's one of them guys and laid out by one shot. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I understand exactly.
Left hand that is exposed. And
well, that's exactly what that's exactly what Donaire Boone did. That's exactly what Donaire Boone did. Laid him out with one punch.
I think Badu Jack's got the ability to do that. He's got the ability to do it. I mean, look, when he fought Cleverly, he hustler. Heavyweight hustled the hustler, which was Cleverly. He then before that he fought DeGale, almost knocked James DeGale out. He fought was it Butte, and then before that did he fight George Groves?
Yeah, he fought George Groves also. Yes, he did.
Same. So I think Badu Jack is one of the guys I'm definitely keeping my eye on for 2018.
I keep, you know what? I tell you what. In all fairness, the whole situation with Elena Alvarez, and this is, I think I talked about it. The thing that makes me mad is they allowed him, like all of them, in my opinion, everybody played part of this. The promoter, the WBC, Al Heyman, and even Stevenson himself. They play part in this guy sitting there at that slot, number 2 slot, okay, and not being like, hey man, listen, we need to go ahead and fight this guy and get him out of the way, okay. So they all played their part in it, because if it's a situation like you just said, he never wanted to fight in the first place, then they should have went on and said, hey man, this dude don't want to fight, get him out the way so we can have some movement.
It's money in it. I mean, the promoter's getting a cut. It was getting cut. So listen, people are getting fed. So it's when people are not getting fed, there's a problem. These people are getting fed, so they're all to blame. They probably all didn't want to fight and were getting free money.
Yes, sir. And now that he was going to go into a person with Kovacic, and I said this to people, everybody wants to blame Leda Alvarez, but when it comes to purse bids, that's the promoter that deals with that. Leda Alvarez can't come out of a purse bid, I don't want to fight. But the promoter's the one that could be like, no, I'll walk away from the table.
That sort of crap that's going right there deserves you to get knocked out. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I want, you know, I'm with you as far as what I want in 2018 is I don't want no more 2017 ended on such a good note. So I'm with you. If he doesn't fight, if I pulled out the purse bid, then get rid of him. Yeah, you know what? Put him out the rankings completely and make him work his way back.
And the other thing I don't want to see in 2018, and it's happening already, is that guys who have 1 or 2 fights with a couple of knockouts, the baddest fighter on the planet, without really fighting anybody of real considerable note. Guys that we've got average records or decent records, and we give them all this praise. But what I don't get is a guy who fought at the time, Kovalev, never got any praise throughout his career. What he did at super middleweight or what he did at light heavyweight, it was kind of pushed to one side. Guys of lesser ability and accomplish a lot less, and they're Godzillas and they're the baddest man and they're the pound for pound great.
Oh, I'll give you a name of somebody that I'm hearing now. Jared Hurd. Because Jared Hurd beat Austin Trout, I got people telling me that Jared Hurd could knock out. I got people saying that Jared Hurd could knock out Lauda and Charlo. Lauda and Charlo.
Hurd the other day was fighting my man Tony Harrison.
Yeah. And Harrison was winning that fight until he mentally checked out, which is the MO for him. If you get him into the later rounds, you can test his mental psyche.
Yeah.
You know. But I definitely agree with you. When I saw the Frampton versus Donaire, I was like, what the hell am I thought I was reading a mystery.
The thing, people see the fight fans are not clued up, right? The name, they think, oh, Donaire, right. But they're not looking at, well, you know, the value of that fighter. Well, their name means something, but the question's got to be asked. So if we're going to bring out a star name, we're going to say, what have you done lately?
Exactly.
Well, lately you've got beaten up. Lately you've been knocked out. A fighter in terms of your name, but in terms of the quality you bring now in 2018, what are you bringing to the table?
Exactly.
And that is what I have a problem with. But that's going to be a trick they're going to use a lot.
Well, it's a trick that has been used throughout boxing. And you know, I catch a lot of flack for this. I generally tell people, if you look at Rocky Marciano going 49-0, for his time back then, that was some BS because guys back then was fighting 60, 70 times. Okay? They had 60, 70 fights. He had only 49. But then, like you said, look at the guys he beat. They were older heavyweights that was way past their prime.
Yeah.
Okay? But
I like to...
No, go ahead. What'd you say?
No, I was going to say, I got to give a big shout out to my man, Tony Harrison. He was doing so well in that fight.
You catch a lot of flack for that, but today's fans are giving. I'm all for giving credit where credit is due, but don't overdo it with credit. Just because he beat an Austin Trout that hadn't been in the ring in 2 years doesn't mean that all of a sudden now he's going to be an undisputed 154-pound fighter. That's not what that means. I mean, and these are the kind of arguments I'm having. These are the kind of discussions I'm having with people. If you go to my channel right now, I'm arguing with some dude putting words in my mouth about something I didn't say because he's offended about, me saying, Lauda, that this fight really is Lauda's to lose versus hers to win. and he feels some kind of way about that.
Lara's the more obviously accomplished fighter. I mean, he's the more accomplished fighter, but he's got more to lose. I mean, I can't sit down and tell you that I'm a great fan of Lara, but I appreciate his boxing skills. I appreciate his boxing skills, but I'm a fan of Lara. I've seen a couple of his fights and I've almost fallen asleep, but at the same time, I think he's a very good fighter. If he would go out there now, if he go out there now, knock out Hurd, then I'd wake up and say, okay, what are you doing now? What's happening in 2018? What else are you gonna give us in 2018? I hope he does something spectacular. He needs to.
I agree with that.
In my opinion.
Because he's been
he's okay. So what would you call Lara's most? I would have said the Canelo fight, even though I thought he beat Canelo, but a lot of people argue and say he didn't beat Canelo. But there you go.
Probably the Paul Williams fight. You can even throw the Paul Williams fight in there.
Okay.
That's another fight that he should have won. He clearly won that fight. You can't even argue that fight. He clearly won that fight, but they gave it to Paul Williams.
Okay. So he needs a rubber stamp win now in 2018, Lara. Yes, has he got 2 belts now? Or is it my imagination?
No, he has that IBO belt. They gave him that IBO.
Okay.
Belt. That little party favor. That's what that. You know what I'm saying? That belt's a party favor. That's what that belt is a belt they give you just for showing up to the party. When you show up to the party, they give you a complimentary something just for showing up.
How old is Lara? Do you know?
That belt's actually on his way to becoming a sanctioned belt. Probably in the next couple of years. Watch.
Yeah, like the WBO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Khan signing with Satan.
Why Ingram Jones?
Khan was like Satan, wasn't it?
Why Ingram Jones? Would you be talking about Eddie Hearn?
I didn't say it. I'm saying that if you listen to Khan talk, it sounded like he'd be signing with Satan, and now he's with him. So now proves to you that nothing that people say, if people say in boxing, is double talk. They'll say one thing today and flash a pound in front of them, and they'll say something else tomorrow.
No, you didn't hear me. Did you hear what I said? Eddie Hearn.
What about him?
Listen to how I'm saying the name. Kell Brook. Lee Selby.
You've had elocution lessons. I'm impressed.
Oh, my guys, there was a post on Facebook where I was making fun of my wife and my daughter. I had my wife little overgown on with a shower cap on, This is a joke, but they somebody took they photo propped that picture, and they said that your cross dressing behind need to learn how to say names correctly.
I can now call you truth and facts about boxing.
Yeah, they was like, I might slip up every now and then. They was like, it's Canelo, not Carnelo. It's Badu Jack, not Bandu Jack.
How about this fight for you? Pulev versus Big Baby Miller.
I actually like this fight. I really do. I like this fight. It's a good fight for Big Baby Miller. Now, when it comes to Pulev, I have my reservations because, of course, he had no intention of fighting Anthony Joshua from Jump Street. He really didn't, right? But okay, it is what it is. But you're fighting Big Baby Miller, so this is a fight, in my opinion, Big Baby Miller needs to finally, for people to actually want to take notice of him as being a sort of a legitimate contender for a heavyweight title.
I'm sorry.
And this
stop right there. I'm sorry. Stop right there. Stop right there. What?
Okay.
I can't believe those words. A legitimate contender for the what?
Well, a contender, not for for a heavyweight championship fight.
You said a legitimate. You put the word legitimate contender and you put Big Baby Miller in the full the whole sentence.
Yeah, if this is the type of fight you need to.
He is not legitimate. From what
Okay,
I've
so
seen, he's not legitimate. He is not.
no, no, no.
He is not.
I'm not saying that he's all that. I'm talking about it, but I'm saying that if you want to prove to everyone that you are a legitimate contender for the heavyweight title, this is the type of fight that you need to win and fight in and win, which is fighting in Kapulov, whose only loss is to Vladimir Klitschko.
Yeah, he's terrible. What's his name? Big Name is terrible. He's great personality, but he's terrible.
You're 285
Absolutely
pounds
terrible.
and you can't knock anyone out. Like you don't knock like when I mean knock out, you should have one punching power. He beats everybody. He's kind of like
He's like a poor man's version of terrible. He really is. I mean, I like his personality and more for him, but it shows you that how desperate you are in the heavyweight division for fighters.
Oh, most definitely.
He's terrible. I mean, I see this guy throwing punches. His head, he's looking at the canvas when he's throwing punches.
His hands are down.
When he's throwing, sometimes he's looking at the ground when he's walking forward and throwing punches.
Yeah. I'm about to say
it's not hate. It's not hate. I just don't like. Okay, let me rephrase it. It's not I don't like. From a technical standpoint, forward with his head on, looking towards the canvas and throwing punches over the top, not looking where the punches are going. Look good. It don't look good. You know what I mean? This is a guy who a lot of people talking to be the next heavyweight champion of the world. I got a problem with that. So it's not hate. It's what they call.
He's not going to be a heavyweight champion of the world. I'm sorry. He's not going to be that. That he's not going to be.
I'm trying to say, it's not hate. It's just not. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's what you like, really, isn't it? But I can't really honestly say that. I don't know. Big Baby Miller was in the UK. I'd like to see where he'd be in the UK top 10, where he'd fit.
Well, let me ask you this question: Who's worse from a technical standpoint as far as how they fight, Big Baby Miller or Dylan Whyte?
Well, at least Dylan Whyte fought Anthony Joshua.
I agree. And this was before Joshua was even a champion. He was on his way to being groomed to be one.
Remember, that was Dylan Whyte injured going into that fight. So, and at his career any favors whatsoever. I think more damage was caused to his career than I don't think he's recovered from it yet, because I think Dylan Whyte's done adjustments to his boxing style. Power punch he was going into that fight. I think he did more damage trying to get Joshua out of there. Oh, Dylan Whyte reminds me of Keith Thurman. When Keith Thurman went off for that shoulder injury. Since Thurman's come back, who's he knocked out?
Well, in fairness to Thurman, though, since he's come back from that shoulder injury, his level of competition was a lot higher. Yeah, he fought Porter, Garcia.
I'm talking before the Porter fight.
Who did he fight for? Was it Collazo he fought before the Porter fight? Was that Collazo?
He fought Collazo. He did knock Collazo out, and yet Khan knocked him down 5 times.
Yeah, and Collazo actually had him hurt, didn't he? He hit him with a body shot that hurt the crap out of him.
And who else was there as well? Who did Thurman fight as well? And I'm not hating Thurman because I got a lot of love for Thurman. A lot of love for Thurman. sit on the phone and speak to on a regular basis. So
I respect him. I just don't like the
concerns.
fact I respect I respect all fighters, but sometimes things they say become alarming to me, and that's what I want people to understand. So if I get on a fighter for what I
Yeah,
hear him say, that's just how the world works, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The other thing is, while we're at it, remember I was talking about Fury, and I talked about him changing trainers, and I talked about him probably going to get involved in calling Joshua out for a summer fight. How many of those things have been happening over Twitter so far?
Oh yeah, I got to give it to you, man. I need you to use your psychic powers and give me the winning lottery ticket numbers, man. Stop playing. I can make you some money.
I would not be surprised. Surprised as if somehow if Joshua beats Parker, I say if, and I keep saying if. Boxing, as you know, I can see a Joshua Fury fight in the summer of 2018.
I've always said, I've told everybody this from day one. When Tyson Fury was talking, I said, if Tyson Fury comes back, you will see Fury versus Joshua before you see Joshua versus Wilder. I told everybody.
They'll jump on that like a Valdez. I've said it and I'll say it again and I'll repeat it for people who didn't hear me. The only thing Scott Quigg has done is find a faster way to get himself knocked out. So he's now joined Freddie Roach to fight. He's joined Freddie Roach, who doesn't teach you how to have a defense. He teaches you, shows you all the ways of getting yourself, how to get yourself knocked out. So Quigg has just lined himself up with a fight with a guy who's heavy-handed. To Quigg getting knocked out. So I'm sorry. I never rated Freddie Roach for defensive boxing skills. Attacking, offensive, yes. Defensive, don't go to Freddie Roach. If you want to get yourself knocked out, go to Freddie Roach. You knocked out. Ask Pacquiao, ask Khan, ask most fighters that have been with Freddie. In fact, he had 1 year where all his fighters got knocked out.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. He had a up and coming rising Filipino guy get knocked out not too long. I remember that.
The guy got knocked out in a year. In fact, I think even Chavez got knocked out that year as well.
If you look at Scott Quigg, I've always said this. I've said, listen, Oscar Valdez is an L. He's an L waiting to happen, but I don't think that's going to come at the hands of Scott Quigg. Like you said, Valdez is very heavy-handed. Valdez is a bull. He comes at you. I just don't think that a smaller coming up to 126 can be able to impose his ability enough on a hungry Valdez who's looking to come and get see what you have. So I'm with you. I got Valdez winning. I don't know if he wins by knockout, but
I'll say I'm a big Quigg fan. Back in the day, before he fought Frampton, I was a big Quigg fan. I like the way he sets his combinations off. Nice explosive punches, puts them together and punches and punches. I like that. I like that about Quigg. But what I don't like about Quigg is he doesn't move his head. He stands in the same spot too long. His defense is questionable. And despite being a bigger guy in a smaller weight division, but when you be going to another weight division to a big their weight, and when they move up, they're no longer bullies in their weight, and now they've got guys that are bigger than them pushing them around. Whereas, for example, someone like Kell Brook, when he was at welterweight, bullying and pushing people around, now he's going to move up to like middleweight, same sort of luxuries they had at welterweight.
You talking about Scott Quigg?
I'm talking about Kell Brook, but back to Scott Quigg.
Oh man,
back to Scott Quigg now. When guys move up in weight, Scott Quigg was a bully at his weight division. He's a big, was he? Big super bantam. So he's moving up to feather. You're going to try and do that same shit at featherweight against guys who are naturally bigger than you and stronger than you. And you're still going to try and do that same shit, and you're still not going to move your head. harder. So of course you know what's going to happen, and you've gone to Freddie Roach, just fast track your way to get knocked out.
I agree. Like you said, he already had questionable defense, and now you're going to Freddie Roach. So you're not improving on your D. Like you have the offense. That's not your problem. Which is like it's the same thing with guys like Amir Khan, right? It's like, dude, offense is not your issue. You got to get a coach that's gonna help you with your defense. Offenses, and I don't understand these guys who pick these coaches who actually contrast their style. I mean, who actually don't
Exactly.
help them
But
with their style.
that's when people like Roger Mayweather say you don't know shit about boxing. Some of these fighters don't know shit about boxing. They don't,
Well, you know,
because they don't study the sport.
But you know, you mentioned something about guys fighting guys only because of it's a name, and sometimes that's how it is with coaches. You pick a coach only because he's a name, and people think, "Oh man, Freddie Roach," and they don't watch the sport. Freddie Roach had a period when all his fighters got knocked out, and he
Yeah, Freddie
has too
Roach.
many.
I mean, okay, two fighters in the gym. For me lately, what has Freddie Roach done lately? Talk to me about Freddie Roach. What he's done lately.
He had Pacquiao lose to Jeff Horn. He didn't want Pacquiao to fight Crawford. Put it like this: you'd have to search very hard to find something on a positive note. So
we can move swiftly on.
He took Tapia and told him, you'd probably be better if you moved up in weight. He got blitzed. Remember Glenn Tapia?
Yeah, what have you done for me lately? Let's move on. Okay, another guy who is on a fast track to get themselves seriously hurt is Mr. Jeff Horn. Horn. I don't know who's advising Jeff Horn, but he obviously didn't get the memo about Terence Crawford. So he's agreeing to fight. He's agreeing to get his title taken off of him. Because unless he knows something I don't know, he is going to get absolutely destroyed. And if he thinks because he's the bigger man, it's going to help, he's just going to get beat up even faster. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Jeff Horn was in a tight spot to begin with because Arams wanted the Arams, and I don't have anything against Bob Arams, but let's keep it real. Bob Arams liked to do the whole passing of the torch type thing when it comes to his fighters. Okay.
Yeah.
He wants you to pass the torch. He did it to Cotto. He did it to Oscar. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted to do it with Pacquiao, passing the torch over to Terence Crawford. Pacquiao and Freddie Roach was like, no, not doing that. So you fight Jeff Horn. Now Jeff Horn becomes the sacrificial lamb to be the passing torch, or handing the reins over to my next future fighter, which is Terence Crawford. Now you're supposed to be confident, and I admire his confidence. You are supposed to be confident as a fighter, but this whole thing that people have with being the bigger fighter, and I tell people generally, being a bigger fighter means nothing if you don't have the ability to impose that. When you get a guy who is skillful and he's exceptionally skillful like Terence Crawford, you're just the bigger guy. Well, you're going to need more than being the bigger guy to beat Terence Crawford.
Burnett versus Tete, if it ever happened. Well, Adam Booth's a very smart man. He's not going to let that fight happen. And if it does happen, there's only one winner in that fight, and it's not Ryan Burnett.
No. But Zolani Tete has been noted that he's interested in a Naoya Inoue fight, and Naoya Inoue said he's interested in a Zolani Tete fight. So that's what I got my eye on.
Great fight to too. Absolutely. What else is there to talk about that I may have missed out on?
What about your man? Oh, you know what? Nah, I saw your show. You talked about that. I'm not gonna bring that up.
What's that?
Hara Davies. Hara Davies.
Oh shit! Yeah, that I don't know. That talk of Hearn wanting Keith Thurman for Khan. Thoughts? Jesus. I will say this much.
Hearn is, he can say what he wants. Look, the reality is, the only reason why you sign is because you're going to make a Kell Brook fight. That's it. Okay.
That's it.
That's it. Right.
So I expect him. I don't think he's going to put him in with any suicidal opponents. Just look at what Hearn's done. He signed Danny Jacobs promotionally. So you've got Danny Jacobs' first fight is against Lewis. And fight now is going to be against Spike O'Sullivan. Come on, man. Come on.
Look, what did I say?
He had Luis Ortiz.
What did I say a while back when he had Luis Ortiz? I said he devalued Luis Ortiz. He devalued the shit out of him.
He's probably going to devalue the shit out of Jacobs, and he's ready to pull the fast one there by getting Miller to go and fight Pulev. What the hell do you want to go and fight Pulev for?
Mm-hmm. So, and I try to tell him that Daniel Jacobs signed with, like, first off, the only reason why you would sign with Eddie Hearn is because you can't get a fight deal from HBO without a promoter, right? And Eddie Hearn is going to get him in good fights to keep him safe until he can get him a fight with Canelo or Gennady Golovkin again. That's it. But don't expect Daniel Jacobs to be in no fights like when he fought Peter Quillen and stuff. I said, don't expect that. That's not going to happen. Or Jacobs versus Charlo. I mean, you might have been interested in Billy Joe Saunders, but we saw what happened with that. And
that's not going to happen because you got Frank Warren involved. That
Saunders wants Canelo or Gennady Golovkin, so I'm not even knocking him on that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to see more of Jessica McGaskill for sure.
Yes, I am.
Champion.
She gave Katie Taylor all she could handle, didn't she? Even had her hurt one time. Hit her with a big left hook.
I'd want to hear Bo's thoughts on Ohara Davis. What's your thoughts on Ohara Davis, Bo?
Okay, given what, and take this in mind, there's very little history that I've been able to gather about what he said. Even if what he said, I'm not gonna say even if what he said, given this, maybe it was insensitive, the timing wasn't right, but he is a victim of what he has been allowed to be. It's the same thing kind of like with Angel Garcia. Everybody was dismissive of Angel Garcia and the remarks he was making until he went a step too far, and then they want to rope it back. And lots of people were dismissive of Ohara Davis and the things that he was saying. Then once he said something that went too far, they kind of want to rope him back. So, it's a bad situation all the way around. But if this is the reason why I'm not like all for as long as they win, let them say what they win. No, correct. That way you don't have them problems.
Okay. Yeah, Eddie Hearn's going to say what he wants to say, but he won't deliver. The only fight I think he'll deliver for sure is Brook. So I expect to see Khan have 2 warm-up fights and then get the Brook fight in. That's it.
Oh, Ingram, you're going to be mad at me, man. I just had a thought. You're going to be mad at me. I could see.
Why is that?
I could see Big Baby Miller. Let's say Big Baby Miller beat Pulev. And let's say Joshua beats Parker. I could see them putting Fury in one fight, but then making Miller versus Joshua fight. and then after that, doing Joshua versus Fury. I can see it happening.
What about Miller versus Fury? I can see that fight.
Yeah, if Miller beats Pulev, I guarantee you we'll see him either in there with Fury or with Joshua.
Yeah.
I can see that happen.
I'm surprised that Eddie hasn't tried to throw Dillian Whyte to Tyson Fury.
Yeah. Wasn't there was something about David Price that was mentioned for Tyson Fury?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Price yet. No.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you something. Fury better get his eye on the ball because his comeback's going to be ill-fated.
I think his comeback going to be ill-fated. I mean, here's a guy who, in my opinion, knew or knows he's coming back, or maybe he don't know he's coming back, but yet and still, I haven't seen no serious results from training at all. Period from him. So, and what I mean by serious results is I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying nothing that says to me, okay, he's training. Normally, when fighters train, even if they train for a week or 2 weeks, you see some remnants of that week or 2 weeks. I'm not seeing that on Tyson.
It's not good what I'm seeing. It really isn't. He'd leave his trainer. He's gone and left his trainer when a lot of people were saying he wouldn't leave his trainer. I tell you, all Josh has to do is push those buttons, and I think Tyson will go for it because of the people around him. If they're good influences on Tyson, I think they'll go with a money grab. Go on, Tyson, you can beat Joshua. He's only a weightlifter. You can beat him.
Yeah. One thing we
lost
know.
the weight of his medicals from the start of December. Don't know what his team are doing. Well, it depends what Tyson's been doing.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm taking listen. Earlier in the year of last year, I think the summer of last year, there was rumors of Tyson probably making a comeback, and I'm just saying that. Okay, if you were training since then, I'd see some remnants of your training. I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
and that's alarming to me.
2017, and they laughed at me. Well, now it's 2018, and it's not good. It's not good at all.
Who was your fighter of the year? I think. Who's your fighter of the year?
When? If it was my fighter of the year.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I think I had Crawford. Somebody else I had. I can't remember. Somebody else I had. I couldn't remember which one I had. Fighter of the year. Trainer of the year was obviously Derek James.
Yeah, Derek James. I had him as trainer. Matter of fact, I actually interviewed him not too long ago.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, okay. And then you got James Virgil Hunter has apparently he has a pretty good prospect in some French heavyweight.
That's what I was telling you about on the show, Tony
Yoka.
Yeah, he's a very good fighter. Very good fighter.
Yeah.
He beat up Joe Joyce in the amateurs.
Oh, really? There was I saw something about Canelo was somebody posted something from the LA Times in one of the rooms. I haven't heard anything about it yet. I'm looking to it, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else? What's that?
Oh, no, we talked about Lara versus Hurd, right?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Jacobs is supposed to be coming back into the ring.
Who's that? Danny Jacobs?
You said, who is he fighting? I don't even know this guy he's fighting.
Sullivan.
Okay. Then you got David Benavidez versus Gabriel Part 2.
Okay.
And then you got what's that guy's name?
Shields fighting this weekend.
Shields, Yes, sir. She's fighting Tori Nelson. Christina Hammer had passport issues. She was going to be on the undercard.
Okay.
She actually fights tomorrow, to be exact.
You know who a woman I'd like to see turn pro in the boxing ring? I'd like to see Cyborg turn pro. I think she's got good hands on her.
Well, you know, I think Cyborg is I think people really underestimate her as a striker.
Yeah, I'd like to see her. I'd like to see her versus Katie Taylor.
I'm sorry, I would say you like to see her and who?
Katie Taylor.
Cyborg and Katie Taylor. Did you say Cyborg and Katie Taylor?
Yeah.
Man, you trying to get Katie Taylor killed, man.
I'd love to see that fight.
People are thinking, oh, Katie, I get it. You guys, I get it. People are going to get upset. Here's the thing. I saw Jessica McCaskill, and Jessica McCaskill is a 2-time Golden Glove winner, right? And from a skill set standpoint, you know, one can say she needs some work, but she was able to have very good success. Yeah. I think Cyborg is a better striker than Jessica McCaskill.
Yeah.
She's a much better striker.
McCaskill's my girl, though.
Yeah. The only way that Taylor can win is if we don't know how Cyborg can handle going 10 rounds. Because you only do 5.
I got no doubt about Cyborg. Cyborg walk through walls. He'll do 12 rounds. Listen to me. If I could take Cyborg on and train Cyborg, and my first fighter, have a female fighter, is Cyborg, man, and go through the whole of the women's division with her.
Well, you know who is helping her train, right? For Holly Holmes. Hello?
I swear you've been at McDonald's. You're drinking a McDonald's milkshake.
No, I'm sorry. I'm driving. I said, you know who was helping Cyborg train for Holly Holmes, right?
Who was it?
Cecilia Baracus.
Yeah, there you go.
She was working out with Cecilia Baracus. Majority of it was Cecilia Baracus, and there was some sparring sessions with Clarissa Shields as well.
Told you, that's 2 bad women right there.
Yeah, and if you watch that Holmes fight, she did very good, and from using her stand up.
And you think about it, she was making the boxer look pretty amateurish. But you know what? If Cyborg can neutralize Holly Holm, who's a world champion, a boxing champion, do that to Holm, then she can come into the boxing world and do serious damage. Serious damage.
Oh, I agree, 100%. 100% agree. So
that's one. See, I think she makes a better conversion than Conor McGregor does. I think McGregor's a gimmick. I think Cyborg's the real thing.
Well, here's the thing. When you look at the two, from a stylistic standpoint, Conor McGregor was not necessarily really known for being a striker, not the type of striker that Cyborg is. See, striking, people understand, especially when you're a striker, is boxing. You know, so I agree with you.
I'd love to see in the boxing ring. Oh my god,
I would love to see it. And then Conor McGregor took on the best boxer we had on the planet. Cecilia Baracus wouldn't be taking on, the best boxer. If she went in, whatever, depending on the weight division she is, it's not going to be a Clarissa Shields or Cecilia Baracus. So,
Clarissa Shields is a lot bigger than Cecilia, isn't she?
Clarissa Shields is 160 pounds.
Brackus is 147, right?
Hey, yes, sir.
Catchweight fight. Fight, maybe like middleweight.
If I am, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Ingram, can you hear me?
Well, go ahead.
If I am part of Clarissa Shields' team, would not take that fight even if it's a catchweight fight.
I think it's a tremendous fight to have.
The only way you could do a catchweight is if they agreed to do it at maybe 154, meaning Clarissa would have to come down and Shields would have to go. Marcus would have to go up.
Just go up. That'd be an amazing fight. Do you know the fight I've always wanted to see? I would love to see Cecilia Brackus versus Lucia Riker.
Oh, yeah. I think she beats Lucia Riker, though.
Yeah.
I always wanted to see Lucia Riker versus Cyborg myself.
I spoke to Lucia and she told me that she thought she could beat Brackus, but of course she would. That was a bad woman. She was a bad woman. And she was the only woman I know that went and fought a man. Well, she got beat in the end, but of a fight.
Oh, most definitely. I like the Lucille Riker. She never fought Christine Martin though, did she?
Pulled out, didn't she? She didn't want any of that. She was even quite happy to move up and fight Ali. Didn't want that either.
Yeah, Layla Ali beat the crap out of her too.
Yeah, but Christine Martin didn't want any of that work.
That's like Layla Ali didn't want none of that Ann Wolf work either.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know much men that want that work either.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Yes, but I wouldn't say it to her though. I ain't sticking no camera up in her face and asking any questions.
Man. She always has like a little.
I gotta get Jessica McGaskill in 2018. I've got to get that interview. Got to get that. She replied, so I think we're on to a winner now. So
good luck.
Man, she's from Chicago, so you should be on that. Be on that. She's from Chicago.
Yeah. I'll talk to you about that off air.
Uh-oh. All right. Talk about before I.
I will say this. She actually has a gym that she's very active about. She does classes and for the youth. So she's very active. I mean, this was even before the Katie Taylor fight. She has a gym.
Yes.
Over here in Chicago.
Yes.
She's very health conscious and stuff like that. So I'll give her that. She does a lot with children and the members and stuff. So she's a very good person.
I'd definitely love to connect with her. Definitely. What we can do, we'll have to talk off air about that. Definitely. Right. I think that's about it from us. Yep. So, how do you feel about the UK?
Oh man, I've always listened. I love boxing wherever it is, whether it's America, whether it's UK, whether it's Asia. I don't care. I love the sport of boxing, and like I say, if I don't care where you are or where you're from, if you want to talk boxing, and we, like 2018 for me is a year where, I'm not pulling no punches. You say something, fighters say something that I don't like, or I'm not particularly fond about, I'm gonna talk about them, and I'm gonna be blunt about them. And I might lose people. People might say, "Yeah, go blow up." They might get mad at me. Well, it is what it is. We gotta, like 2018 for me is no more babysitting these guys. No more babysitting. No more pussyfooting around with these guys. There's no more of that for me this year.
Yep, I think people are losing their patience. Is what it is, and defending the indefensible. And Adonis Stevenson is the prime example of one excuse too many. And now, it's time to see Badou Jack can do what Tyson did to Klitschko, which is end the run and get rid of the stench.
It's funny because I did that with Lauda. When Lauda fought Terrell Gaja, I went in on him like, dude, you got Charlo fighting, you got Hurd fighting Trout, and the only fight you can give me is Gaja? Oh, man, I was so mad. I went in on him. So you got to be kidding me. And before Gaja, who did he fight? He fought Yuri Foreman. I mean, come on, man. The last 3 years, this Lauda has. That's why this Hurd fight. I really want this Hurd fight to happen.
Yeah. What do you make of Wilder getting caught with marijuana? They really don't want him to fight Joshua, do they?
Wilder got caught with marijuana?
Yeah, again.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm Ingram. I am not surprised, and I'll tell you why. Number one, lots of people will do marijuana for recreational purposes. Okay,
right.
It's really not a harmful drug. Marijuana only gives you the munchies. I've never smoked it, but I've been around a bunch of them. Okay, give you the munchies. Yeah. So I'm not surprised because that's kind of, and I hate to say it, but that's kind of the culture here in America. It really is.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised by it. The only surprising thing by it is you can't preach to other guys or attack other guys. And granted, they're selling PEDs, and marijuana is not a performance-enhancing drug. But if you want to say I'm clean, you have to be clean all the way through. And I think that's where people are getting at him at. And I want people to understand that I'm not saying that marijuana is like a PED. No, it's not. But when you preach this being clean and healthy, then you have to be that all the way through. Because I don't drink and I don't smoke. So I can talk clean all the way through because I don't drink or smoke.
Yeah. That's how it's got to be. It's how you got to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. I think we've come to the end of our show. Bo, thank you once again for being on the show. Much appreciated.
Always my brother. You my brother.
Where they can find you?
You can find me at Truth and Fact About Boxing, in conjunction with Three Kings Boxing, and this is all sponsored by the movement. You can find me at Twitter at capital T for Truth _ capital F for Factbox1. Also at Instagram, Truth _ Factbox1, and on Facebook there is a Truth and Facts About Boxing Facebook page where I post videos. That I post my videos there. Some videos I do are like small little clips where I might do knockouts, and I did one of Rinky Wright for Hall of Fame, which I have. I can now make fun. I can now join my man Ingram. I have an interview with Winky Wright, who is a Hall of Fame inductee. So I will have interviewed a Hall of Famer like my man Ingram Jones here. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I'll post that there. If you can, you can post.
Why are you always trying it? You're always trying it with me every time, and you always come with an L afterwards. You Derek James. How did that go?
I did what?
Did it interview Derek James? How did that go?
Oh yeah, hold on, wait a minute though, Ingram. Check this out. You said, "Why do I always try?" Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you want to be the best, what are you supposed to challenge?
I'm not suggesting we're the best. I'm just suggesting that you was trying it though. You do it all the time. It's like all little. It's all right. I'm waiting for you on Monday. Say Monday night. I got something nice waiting for you. As a matter of fact, Lucas Brown's manager now and see how things are going. I talk to Lucas Brown. How does that sound?
Oh, well, I got an interview with Regis Prograis.
I'll get an interview with, let's see, to talk to.
Huh?
Who would you like me to talk to?
I would like for you to interview Emmanuel Stewart, and then I'll be impressed.
I might be able to do something with that actually.
You know what? You should get an interview with Adonis Stevens.
Oh shit! I can't do that. I am the champion. I am the champion. I am the champion. I can't do that, man. I can't do it. Look you straight in the face, and I can't. I can't do it. At first, I would have done it. Now it's
Is there
very
going to be a
difficult.
debate because the Dorticos and Garcia fight is coming up?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll have to do another great debate. I'm with Gassiev on that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. I'm gonna come in guns blazing and fight as tough as I can.
I'm going Gassiev. Once you're knocking your trainer out in training, that's not a good sign. I'm going Gassiev. That's not a good look.
Yeah,
You knocking out your trainer on the pads. That's not good.
that type of shit is for sure. Dorticos did the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about Dorticos here. Knocking your trainer is not helping you.
Oh, come on, man. That's just showing his punching power, man.
Anyone can have punching power if nobody's expecting the punch to be coming. He's not really punching his trainer, is he?
Yeah, I don't understand that. He's supposed to be going to the body, and for some reason he threw a hook. I was like, whoa. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Did you see how it happened? It was really weird because he was throwing to the body, supposed to go to the body, and for some reason he threw a hook. And it's like, whoa.
I don't know.
Okay.
Another great Cuban fighter. So
yes, sir.
Rigondeaux, or how do you pronounce his name? Lara Rigondeaux.
All right, thank you for having me on your show, Ingram.
Samuel Peter would say.
Ugis.
Huh?
Rance Bartholomew, he's fighting for a title.
I think he's going to do.
Rance Bartholomew's fighting for a title. You got Ugis. You got some great Cuban boxers coming up.
Okay, well, let's hope that they've certainly got to do something to restore the pride. After Rigondeaux, Dr. Titus has got a lot to do, hasn't he? But he's on to a winner, knocking out his trainer to win the World Boxing Super Series. Knock your trainer out. Oh, that's a good start. Right. Before I close, I just want everyone to know that for tuning into the show, and that it would be nice if you could join us Facebook page. I will put a link in the description box so you all can click on it if I can get to it now. Yep. Bowls in the group, so it'd be great if you could come on in. Yeah, I heard about. It's all right. Well, I don't think it's going to change much. I don't think that's going to stop him fighting Ortiz. Yeah. So let me just put this link in for you guys. That's it. So if you can get on that, that's the link to click that link. It'll take you straight to our Facebook page. Give it a like and become a member. Once again, thank you so much to Bo Bland for being on the show from Truth and Facts About Boxing. See, I can say very tired IJ from BWTM Sports. We look forward to bringing you some great stuff. Probably Tuesday morning, Monday night. Thank you all for tuning in. Take care.